Hey everyone, we're back to Modern Day Problems, where we talk about just modern issues that everybody's going through, dating, marriage, all those kinds of things. Um, we want to talk about the holidays, right? Going into the holidays, and what can we do to self-reflect during the holidays, right? Going into the new year, right? So Will, um, let's kind of open discuss what can somebody do, right, to self improve, right? One, obviously being self aware of some of the things that you need to fix with yourself, right? Some of the things that you need to fix and correct going into the new year, whether it's hey, you want to work out, right? You want to basically learn something new, right?
Right.
You want to do those kinds of things, right, going into the new year. So what are some of the things that you kind of see? Those are just some of the top things that I think about on my list, right? Of hey, how can somebody self improve going into 2023? And I think one of mine, and I'm just gonna call myself out. I'm gonna basically, work on my fitness. I'm gonna continue doing that. Things I want to learn is I know most folks on here don't know I don't ride. I ride dirt bikes, right? So I want to improve on my handling of dirt bikes, like get overcoming some fears that I have. I've had a lot of broken bones like over the years through dirt bikes, broken wrists, kneecaps, a lot of broken bones. So I want to overcome some fears that I have. So just things like that I want to self improve on, and obviously most importantly is like my mental stability. Obviously, I feel like I'm doing really good as far as just things that I've been through, right? Coming out of a divorce from last year, I've 100% focused on myself this year, and let me tell you, it's been great, right? I've had a lot of good things happen to me. Hey, you know what? I met you, right? We've really connected, right? Become
Right.
like damn good friends, right?
Right.
That's really made me happy, and I just want to reflect on myself, right?
And that's
So
awesome. And everything you just said is 100% spot on because you got to work on you first before you can bring someone else into your
that's
space
right.
and build
Yep.
anything with them. When I remember growing up, my mother used to play this song around Christmas. What do the lonely do
Right.
at
Right.
Christmas?
Mm-hmm.
So when you're thinking about now, like the last 3 weeks where so many people have been dialing in, everywhere we've been going, people have been just excited because a lot of people are miserable. A lot of people have been through a lot of bad relationships, bad divorces, bad
Right.
breakups. So the one thing you said, like around this time, especially for the ones that single and looking to go into 2023 with a bang, like take this time to reflect, work on you, work on your flaws. Like realistically, before you attempt to start a relationship or go on a date with someone, just start focusing on you. Like first and foremost, make sure if you were in a bad relationship, make sure you're truly healed
Right.
before you start dating and meeting someone new, because the one thing you don't want to do is bring someone into a situation where they don't know that, guess what? Like you're mentally scarred, you're
That's right.
emotionally scarred, you're
That's right.
emotionally fractured. So there's no way you can progress with a brand new person when you have yet to close the doors with someone that just treated you like trash. They didn't value you.
That's
They,
right.
they they didn't give you your flowers, right? Like when I hear some of the stories I hear of how people treat people, but the thing is, it's about how people allow it.
Right.
Establish expectations, establish standards, and don't deviate from that, because in today's time you have so many obstacles and challenges and so many
Mm-hmm.
variables every day that you got to deal with. From coronavirus, monkeypox, inflation, recession, deflation. And that's causing a ripple down effect of people that's just not valuing people,
Right.
not valuing emotions and feelings and relationships and marriages and even dating. Because when I look at the different videos that we see online and hearing people talk, like the young lady that was at Wing Daddy, and I just can't stop from harping on that when she was like, how the guy approached her and was just like, "Hey, if we're not having sex, I don't want to talk to you." Like people are really, like, if they buy a female a drink and they get upset because they don't get a return on investment of that $5 drink of having sex immediately thereafter. So it's just like society right now is in such influx
Right.
that realistically you're the only one that can control your outcome, your
Yeah.
desired outcome.
Yeah.
So think about that. Like you know what you want at this point in your life. Like 20 years ago is different versus 20 years in current day.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
it was about courting. It was about getting to know. Like now,
I didn't even care back then, man.
Right,
Like,
like
I was just having fun, man.
right,
Didn't give a shit
right,
who it was, right?
right.
And now it's like, hey, you know what? I want somebody valuable.
Yes.
Right? I want somebody that appreciates my aspect, like all, like just me as a whole, right?
Right.
All my attributes and all those kinds of things, right? I do feel like if you healed yourself from whatever it is that you're going through, I think, I mean, man, so you know what? Let me tell you about this guy, right? I know this guy. Basically, he was with this chick for like 6-7 years, right?
Okay.
And they split up because she was cheating, right?
Mm-hmm.
And within a month, man, he was already with somebody else, right? And you can't tell me that dude was healed after like a month,
No.
right? There's no
Not-
way,
not
right?
at all.
What he did was basically he took the pain that he was in, right,
Mm-hmm.
and met somebody else, right, and then shifted what was really going on to the back burner. Like, but the thing is, all that shit will resurface if you don't deal with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you
Mm-hmm.
don't sit there and deal with the emotional, like, stress that you went through, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I think as guys, and I want to call this out too, right? I think a lot of dudes, like, think there's something wrong with going to a therapist. Like,
Oh, yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
I'm gonna say, like, I've been to a therapist for stress, right? And let me tell you, man, like, that shit helps me. Like, I still go see a therapist because it basically, it helps me deal with all my stresses in my life, like whether it's like business
Right.
or personal, right?
Right.
It helps me deal with all of that stuff, right? And that's another, I really do feel like men think there's something wrong. Like, I was almost ashamed to tell dudes, like, that I was going to see a therapist. Like, they were like, what? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, right?
Right.
Like, but the thing is, it wasn't that, right? Like, it's a normal thing now. It's okay for a man to say, hey, I'm going to a therapist, because guess what? That person that is going to therapist, at least he is self-aware to work on himself. Most dudes won't do that. They'll just pile it up and just put it on the back burner and won't even think about it, right?
Right.
But the thing is, that shit does come back to haunt you later, like 100%.
It does. It
So,
does. And it impacts what you're currently trying to build with someone else. That's the thing that people, like, if you value that person and that's your one, guess what? You do everything in your power and your capability to ensure that all the measures are in place
Mm-hmm.
to not only help cope and grow, but expand.
That's right.
You know, mentally, emotionally, physically, like grow in every aspect where it's going to be beneficial for you and that person. Like you can't worry about what other people say and what other people think, because that's not you.
Right.
Like
It's hard to do that, though, these days,
Yeah,
right? Because
it is.
everybody freaking judges you no matter
Yes,
what, right?
yes.
You're going to get judged by what kind of car you drive, right? You're
Right,
going to get judged by how
right,
you dress, right?
right.
You're going to get judged by, like, if you have facial piercings, right? I have a shit ton of tattoos, right?
Right.
Like, I always have my tattoos out, right? And it's like, hey, they judge me by that, right? If I go buy a car, right? Like,
Right.
man, look at this fucking dude, right?
Right.
Always happens to me,
Right.
man, right? So no
But
matter what, you're getting judged all the time.
And that's something you can't worry about.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like the one thing about society, you control the ebb and flow of the impact of something positive or negative towards you, especially in a relationship. Like, you know what you want, you know what's going to be best beneficial for you, especially at this time, current day time right now. You know what makes you happy, you know what makes you tick, you know
That's
what's
right.
going to help you elevate and ascend to the next level. When you come home from a long, rigorous day, you know what's going to make you feel like you're on top of the world.
Right.
I could care less what other people think, because those other people, like when you're looking to date, be in a relationship, get married, you got to identify that person that's going to add value to you and make you feel like you're on top of the world.
Yeah.
Like, so many people, unfortunately, what I see, they settle for what they think is the right fit for them. But in reality, if you align with the wrong person, you're going to systematically destroy yourself mentally, physically, financially, emotionally, like spiritually, because a lot of people get depressed and then they don't want to work out, and then they just eat, and before you know it, like, you just blow up like the World Trade Center. Like, at the end of the day, like, you have to always be in control of what's best for you, and
Right.
then don't allow outside interference, because, again, like you said, people are always judging. Other people always think they have the best answer and best remedy for your situation.
Oh,
So
man.
when you're sitting here trying to figure out,
Yeah.
what can I do to improve myself so I can be more attractive and attract what I want?
What I want, right?
Attract what's going to be great for me. Attract what's going to help me grow. Attract what's going to help me elevate.
Right.
Well, the first thing, like, most people don't understand, is things that you need to eliminate
Right.
in order to get to that next step.
That's
It's
right.
people that you need to eliminate to get to that next step. It's ways that you need to eliminate to get to those next steps, because a lot of us, depending on the age, we become stubborn. We become just really closed off to what it takes to have a successful relationship or a successful marriage. So at the end of the day, if those things aren't outlined when you're looking for that partner, it's gonna be a massive recipe for a disaster. And I think from what we've been hearing, a lot of people, oh, he checked this block, or she checked this block, or she made this much money. Like, a lot of the things we're hearing, like, realistically, those are the things that you should be keying on when you're looking to find that one.
Yeah. I mean, I think, reflecting, and I think that most people don't self-reflect, right? Because it's like you're being critical of yourself, right? Like people are hesitant to do that. 100%. Like, if you can call yourself out on things that you do wrong, I think that person is going in the right direction, right? Because that's what you can learn from your mistakes, right? It's like, in connecting this to dating, right, and self-reflecting, right? It's like, if you want to sit there and put yourself out there and meet a bunch of people, right? Meet, women or whatever you're doing, like if you're meeting a dude, like however it works, right? If you're putting yourself out there, you need to, like, make those connections with people, right? Because if you don't, like, it's kind of the game of odds, right? If you sit there and just basically just do the basics of everything, right, and the simple dating apps, and that doesn't work, right? Then you need the experience to, like, learn from your loss, right? You have to, you have to have loss, right? To learn how to become better, right? And I feel like a lot of people aren't good with loss, right? Loss, like, if you fail at something, it sucks, right? We all fail at everything, right? But the thing is, I think that some people can say, hey, you know what? I can learn from my failures, right, and adjust as needed, right? And I think that going into 2023, this is something that I'm going to change about myself, right, is being better at dealing with failure, right? I do feel like I'm pretty good at it. I could be better at it, right? Because I don't want to fail, right? But, like, let's just say, like, I approach, like, 10 women, right? And then maybe 2 of them are willing to talk to me or whatever, right? Or open that door, right? That's the thing. I have to take those. Really, the best aspect there is I'm learning from the ones that basically turned me down, right? I'm learning from what was it, that wrong about me that they turned me down, and that's what I can self-reflect on, right? I can take that and then go back and focus on myself. Maybe if let's just say, for example, I saw another dude approach the same girl that basically I failed with, right? I can look at that and see, hey, what are aspects that why did I fail, right? I can see what that person has, right, or what he's doing, and learn from that, right?
And make adjustments.
And I shouldn't be mad about it, right? And the thing is, it sucks because we all hate failure.
Absolutely.
But that's what I can use to basically better myself going into 2023. So.
And that's a great way to transition. Boy, I'm telling you, look, we talk some great content on bettering yourself, making yourself, just preparing yourself mentally for your mate that's coming up. So, hey, tune in, subscribe, like, share, because, boy, I'm telling you, 2023 is going to be a boom for dating, for relationships, for marriages. Like, we're going to manifest just all type of prosperity. So I hope y'all tune it in. We're going to take a break. God bless.
Thanks, everyone. Take care.